Beloved, there are moments in this walk where the most honest thing one can say is, I'm tired, tired of hoping, tired of praying, tired of believing something would change, but watching it not. And beneath that exhaustion, there is a deeper question many of us are afraid to say out loud. God, where have you been? If you've ever felt this way, hear me clearly. You are not alone, and you are not outside of God because you feel this way. Even Christ himself cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me? Not as weakness, but as truth in that moment. There is a kind of pain that comes not just from hardship, but from unmet expectation. From believing God would show up a certain way and facing a reality that looks nothing like it. And that gap between what you hoped for and what has happened can truly feel unbearable. But let's bring something into the light, both gently and honestly. Not everything that has happened to us was done by God. Not every closed door is him withholding, and not every loss is him orchestrating something higher. Sometimes life is just that, life. And when we place everything on God, we can begin to see him through the lens of our own pain, rather than through what is true. And yet, even in that tension, many of us are still here. We still seek, we still ask, and we still turn towards him, even if it's through frustration, anger, or exhaustion. And that matters more than we can even realize, because it reveals something. There's still something alive in us that has not been broken and that has not been destroyed. And though we may feel like we've been left hanging, like we've been asked to carry more than we should, like we've been waiting for doors to open while being told to keep trusting, and though that tension is real, clarity begins to return when we realize that there are things that belong to God and there are things that are within our own reach. And sometimes what feels like abandonment is actually us being left with the responsibility we didn't want. And that is not punishment, and it is not God stepping away, but it can feel that way when we're tired. So if this is where you are today, don't force yourself to feel differently. Don't rush to fix your faith. I ask you to be honest. I ask you to get grounded and take one step that is real and within your control. And let this settle into your spirit, beloved. God is not watching you for entertainment. He's not fragile in the face of your questions and doubts, and your honesty does not separate you from him at all. So speak, ask, and even wrestle if you need to, but don't stop living. Don't stop moving, even if it's one small step, one real step at a time. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do in the midst of disappointment is to remain. And in that, something deeper than what you expected can begin to form. Bless you, beloved, and keep going.